Hello, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Once again, live on Saturday night. It's Bose 831 Gaming live on Twitch. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream, welcome to the channel. Once again, Bose 831 Gaming live on Twitch. We're on Farming Simulator 22. And we're on the ELM Creek farm, and this is a continuation of my ELM Creek Farming Simulator 22 live stream series. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day, evening, or whatever it is in your neck of the woods. But welcome. Thanks for tuning. Hello. Having some technical difficulties there. I don't know what happened. My controller tried to go out on me momentarily there. Hopefully you can still hear me. Hopefully the mic is still mic'd up. Checking that out now. Let me flip over to my other screen. I got multiple screens going on here because, as I indicated during my live last week, on some Saturday nights, depending on what's going on with the American football season, I might have multiple screens going at the same time, including the one I'm streaming from, and depending on what streams are going on in the background, I may be a little bit distracted from time to time. It just depends on what particular football games are on that weekend during the prime time. All right. Looks like my audio is still good, so we're still good to go. All right, everyone, and we're just picking up basically from where we left off on the last episode. We had moved into the first day in the month of March, and we have a lot of stuff to get into today. Looking at the crop calendar, you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about here. Excuse me. As number one, we're ready to plant for oat, sunflowers, sugar beet, and sugar cane. And our grapes should already be ready to go. We had discussed retooling my grape area, and I think we will look to get into that tonight. First thing first, we need to make sure we finish with all our standard daily activities on the farm. So let's get into that. First thing we want to do is take a look at our production chains, or in this case our greenhouses, and we need to go handle those things first. So let's get into it. Alright, starting off with our daily farm activities. I'm going to go ahead and top off take care of our chickens first. So we'll start filling with some barley. And we don't need to fill the truck all the way up, just as long as we have enough to provide the chickens with what they need. Alright. Once we got the chickens taken care of, we can dump the leftover barley back into the silo. And next up, we want to grab a load of seeds and take care of our greenhouses. And if you're first time tuning in, you may be thinking like, oh, wait a minute, seeds for greenhouses? Greenhouses don't take seeds, Bose 831. Well, these greenhouses do, because I have modded greenhouses installed on this map, and not the base game greenhouses. And these greenhouses take additional inputs, and in turn produce additional output. In this instance, these greenhouses take seed and or fertilizer and manure, and produce additional increased output. And because of the way I have them set up for efficiency, I have it set up where I can go drive down the center and handle all the greenhouses in one pass. The only issue is you don't know exactly where the field triggers are for dumping materials into the greenhouses, so you just kind of have to estimate. And kind of what I'm doing here is I've kind of estimated that the field points are pretty much where the double doors are in front of each greenhouse, so I'm just hitting the dump button as I pass through in front of each set of double doors. Hopefully that'll get me what I need. If not, it'll get me very close to it. There's a ton of deer over there, huh? And once we got that knocked out, we can then unload. And just gonna go back around and take a peek to see how we did on if we hit all the triggers. And looks like we hit most of them. Missed that one there. That one's still pretty significantly low, but that's the only one. Looks like we got all the others, so not gonna sweat it that much. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and grab our manure. And also just looking at the grass, I don't recall now, I didn't check my last video if we're on month 1 or month 2 of ready to harvest for my grass fields. If we're in month 2, then we do want to go ahead and harvest our grass fields as well. And in case if you're wondering why, if you're new to Farming Simulator, the reason why you want to wait until the second month of the ready to harvest state for the grass is the grass has 2 harvest states and produces additional yield on its second harvest state. So if you wait until the second month when your grass is in the ready to harvest state, you'll get an increased yield. Alright, now we're taking this manure over to our greenhouse, and we're just gonna do the same thing we did with the seeds. Hopefully we'll have better results than we did with seeds, even though all that being said, we only missed 1 trigger point for the seeds, which is not horrible. It's the same deal, just going through each one and just trying to dump it like right in front of each set of double doors, and in most cases that should get us right about where that field point trigger is. Alright, that looks good. We hit them all. Let's see how we did on the manure. And just gonna again scroll through all of the greenhouses in our production chain menu, and looks good. Looks like we didn't miss either one of the manure points. So we can take our leftover manure back over to our on-farm mini BGA, and this mini BGA will process the manure into electric charge, methane fuel, and digestate. And while we're over here, we'll just go ahead and fill the trailer back up. Oh yes, and I forgot one remnant from last week's stream. We had slurry that we needed to get rid of, so we're going to go ahead and dump that into the mini BGA as well if we still have capacity for it. And that's a slow drain there for whatever reason. Alright, so move this truck out the way momentarily, because it looks like we're probably just about maxed out in slurry, and we are, and that's why that wasn't moving. So we're going to go ahead and drop manure in here. And unlike with the slurry situation, the mini BGA has plenty of capacity for manure in it. So we should be able to empty both of these bunkers for the pigs and the cows, and go ahead and put that into the mini BGA. And that's what we're doing now. We're just going to go ahead and empty both of those bunker silos, manure bunkers, and just dump that right into our on-farm mini BGA. And just make sure we have both of those productions turned on, which we do. Just want to make sure we're keeping our eye on the amount of digestate that is produced, so as we start to fill up, we can go ahead and start hauling it off to our production chain so that the digestate can be reprocessed into solid fertilizer. But we're done with the TLX 3500 dump truck for the moment. We do want to check our water before our water levels in the greenhouses before we move on to other activities on the farm. So let's just take a look at that here before we totally jump out of the truck, because we might need to top off the water tanker. So we want to go to our water distributor. Me being the micromanager that I am going to go ahead and top it off. So we'll just go ahead and do that now tonight as well, and get it lined up, get the truck lined up properly. Going to take our tanker trailer, and it's already full of water, so we just drive right on over to the water distributor tank and fill it up. And this tanker automatically distributes to production chains all on the map that require water, which the greenhouses do. And I think this will also function with the great greenhouses I'm going to put on this map here. Hopefully I will get to that tonight. Alright, let's get some water first. Refill the tanker all the way back up to its max capacity. Alright, there we go. Now we got the tanker trailer filled up. And we're going to go ahead and drop the tanker trailer off. Because all we did was just fill it up so that it'll be ready to go when we need to use it again. Excuse me. So we're going to drop the tanker trailer off. Reconnect the dump trailer, but we're done with the TLX for now. Next, we're going to take a look at our animals on the farm, starting with our sheep. Okay, food's getting low, so that means the grass bales for the sheep must be exhausted, so we'll need to look at replacing the grass bales for the sheep. Let's go over here, hop over there real quickly and take a peek at the sheep barn to make sure that's exactly what we're dealing with. And as you can see, there's no bales present here at the food field point, so that's a certainty. So that's one job we want to address first, I believe. So we'll go ahead and hop into that activity. So let's go to our shop menu, and we're going to buy some grass bales. Even though I do grow my own grass, for the sheep, I found this process to be a little bit more efficient for me. Let's just get a grass. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. That should 7, 8. How much is that? 8 for 10 grand. 8, 240. And we'll buy. And we'll quickly lease a trailer. So we want to go to our trailers and bale loaders, and one of my favorite mods that I like to use for doing my baling is this PGRAT85 mod. These trailers are very cool. Automatic bale loading, make sure we have that turned on, and quickly lease that. And then I'm going to grab our let's grab the Massey. I'm going to go over here to our garage and grab our Massey Ferguson 7726S tractor, and we're going to quickly drive down to the shop and pick up the bales and that I purchased and the bale trailer that I leased, and we'll bring all that back over to the sheep barn and get our bales in place so that the sheep can have their grass feed. Excuse me. Alright, we're going to back up here and pick up the trailer, set it operating position. What do you mean this bale is not supported? Okay, what setting did I not? It said 240 centimeters when I was in the shop menu, so I'm confused. Alright, let's see. Bale loader, select, return, because I don't know what the heck's going on. Alright, that's a 240 centimeter bale. Why do you not support a 240 centimeter bale? Let's try this again. Automatic bale loading, yes. Now, is there a special setting for what size bales it can take? Because it literally says 180 to 240 centimeter square bales. Correct? Am I not seeing something? Alright, so we shall lease again. Operating position. This bale is not supported. What the? Alright, I don't know what the heck's going on. It's not making any sense to me. Alright. Trying to stay cool. I guess we got some magical bale size that the game doesn't want to recognize now, even though you allow me to buy them from the shop. I'm not entirely sure what the issue is with these bales. Alright, this trailer works. So the trailer that I like to use doesn't like those bales for whatever reason. I'm at a loss. That's a head scratcher. I never had any problems with that trailer whatsoever, so I don't know what the issue is tonight. Alright, well, we're taking these bales back to our sheep barn. Then we're going to drop them off so that the sheep can have their grass feed. And again, apology for getting a little bit derailed there, but you know, when you're doing certain things real time, you expect certain things to happen and they don't. It just kind of throws you off a little bit sometimes. Alright, but let's try to see if we can get this. And I actually could have purchased 2 more bales in. So, alright. Try to get as close as I can in here. Alright, and I still can't get this trailer as straight as I want it. And that's alright. Straighten up. Alright. Trying to just get it as close as I can. And we want to do unload bales. And then move our bales over. And just kind of drop them down right here in the front. Like I said, I was trying to get them as straight as possible. But we just kind of work with it. Alright. That's not as neat as I would have liked for it to do, but it does the job. I could have purchased another 4 bales and had the whole, and probably even another, let's see, probably even 2 more stacks here. Yeah, I could have. So, alright, but that's good for what we got going now. I may come back later and clean that up. But the situation with the trailer there just kind of threw me completely off. As it says, it takes the 180 to 240 centimeter grass bales, but apparently it does not, because it was not accepting those bales. While as you saw, the other trailer was. And I've done it before with those trailers, so I don't know what the problem is this evening. Okay, so next thing we want to take a look at is our cows, pigs. Cows look good. I guess I may have topped them off camera. Yeah, I think I did. So cows and pigs are good to go. So we can get right into the next thing we need to do. So looking at our crop calendar. We're ready to plant our oats, so let's go ahead and get started there first. So first we need to grab a planter that will serve the purposes that we need for this particular job. So we're going to go to planters. And because we're doing playing with precision farming, we want planters that are direct drill planters. And I have the seeding options mod installed, which basically turns all of the base game planters into direct drill planters. So we'll look at one of those because I don't need anything really crazy. So we'll start with something around 6 meters width should be enough. And we could use these planters for other jobs. Although, let's see. We are able to, well, first I need to get a seeder because I have both root crops and grain crops that must be planted. So we're going to start with our grain crops. And we only need about a 6-meter coverage. So we're going to use, I think we're going to lease the KUHN branded equipment for this job. And so we'll need to lease the seeder. Yes. And the planter. Yes. So we want to go to the shop and pick that equipment up. And again, my apologies on getting a little bit derailed there with the bell loader situation. Just gonna have to come back to that probably off camera and just mess around with that and see what might be the issue there, because there's something either there's something I'm missing or there's an issue with the mod that I have not run into before. Okay. And I'm already still kind of messing up some things here, but we'll just roll with it. First thing first, we want to go ahead and grab the 2 pieces of this seeding kit. And the first piece, you got this front piece. This goes on the front of your tractor, and that holds the seeds or fertilizer. And the other piece goes on the back of your tractor, and you want to fold that up. And we're going to take this back to the farm. I'm going to stop by the main farm first because we got to get our equipment filled up with seed, and then we'll go out to the oat field and get our oat planted. Well, open the tank and go up to our seed silo and fill it up with seed. And we're going to select the seed oat. Make sure we have it set for oat. And then we're going to drive out to our oat field. And we're going to get some oat planted first. Okay. And this is field 40 is our oat field, so we can go ahead and unfold the planter / seeder, and just double checking the pH value for the field, and it's still in good shape there, so I don't need to put any lime down first. So we can just go straight into our planting. I'm gonna lower seeder, turn on the seeder. Okay. The seeder is... Alright, it keeps saying I need to... unfold seeder. Alright, getting our oat down now. And just a little bit of technical snafus here while I figure out how to use the equipment that I do every few months that I always forget how to use when I come back and try to do it again. Hey. Alright, so we're getting our oat down on field 40. We have the AI worker kind of hired and going and doing that, but I'm thinking I might need to keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't mess any of this up. I want to, and I probably need to, leave him to his own devices temporarily while we multitask. Let's take a look at our crop calendar and we'll see what other crops we need to get going. Here we have our sunflowers, our sugar beet, which will use the same equipment. Our sugar cane will use a different piece of equipment, and we're doing something entirely different for our grapes, so we don't have to worry about that. So while our worker is going, we'll kind of keep an eye on him while we go looking in the shop at what we need to grab next for our planting of our sunflowers and our... Wait a minute, let me make sure. Go back to the calendar. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we need a planter for our sunflowers and our sugar beet. And we still want to stick to about the same 6 meter working width for our equipment. But we can use this piece of equipment for both our and it works with the so I think we'll look at using the Maxima 3 TIL because it works with the seed basket that we already have. So we'll go ahead and lease that, and that's a 6 meter working with as well. And this worker's doing okay, so we're kind of gonna jump over to one of our other tractors and we're gonna grab but I will need to release a second one if I'm gonna do that. Okay. Alright. And we just drop the weight off here because we won't need to wait because we'll have the seeds on one end and the planter on the other. So we're grabbing, so we we're going to the shop to pick up the planter that we just leased. And we're going to put it to work for planting of our sugar beet and our sunflower seed. But there is another piece of equipment we need to lease, unfortunately, because one of the pieces of equipment that I was going to use in conjunction with this is in use with the other job we have going right now, so we'll have to lease a second one of these. And we'll have that on the front end of the tractor, and have this other piece on the back end of the tractor, the Maxima 3 TIL. And we'll just call it CON, even though I know that's not the correct pronunciation. But YouTube kind of has this algorithm that will flag videos for offensive language, and because it's AI and it doesn't understand the context of the language that it's flagging, sometimes it'll just flag the words arbitrarily without understanding the context of their usage. So certain words will get flagged no matter how they're used in different contexts. And this K brand is one of those brands that gets YouTubers flagged when they say that word sometimes. Alright, so we're going to fill that up with seed as well. And this particular device can also load fertilizer, so we'll fill that up as well. And we want to take this setup over to our sunflower field first. And what we're going to do here is we're going to plant some sunflowers. And just make sure we close our covers. And this time we're planting sunflower on field 53. So we just need to get everything set up properly. And again, just double checking the field, situation on the field. And pH value on the field is great. Other values are not so much. But we can address those after we get our seed down. Alright, so get the equipment in position. Seeder. And then planting sunflower here. And while that's happening, we just want to double check what's going on with our oat planter. Okay. He still looks to be in good shape. I just want to just keep a good eye on it to make sure he doesn't do anything crazy or miss any major areas. All right. And there was a group of animals that I did forget about tonight because I was just ready to get into our other activities. We forgot to check on my horses, so we still need to get our daily riding for our horses done at some point today. I just want to make sure I keep that on the brain as well. Okay, both of those fields are going fine. Now, the other crop that we're able to plant this month is our sugar cane, and that will require an entirely different piece of equipment. And there's a mod that came out recently that I want to try to use tonight that will plant our sugar cane, and just to do something different from what we've done in the past. We're going to use the Lizard PCP 6000 sugar cane planter. This is a mod that can be found on the mod hub. Yeah. And tonight we'll use that for our sugar cane planting. And the realistic work mode for it is 3 meters, but we can also set it to do the unrealistic work lengths of 6 meters, 8 meters, or 11 meters. But we'll do the realistic tonight. Alright, and we want to lease that. This device has to be used in conjunction with a tractor, so we'll still need to have one of our tractors free in order to use it as well. We'll just go ahead and lease it now, so we'll be ready for that when we get to it. The horsepower requirement for it is 160 horsepower. And in the spirit of multitasking, since we got those efforts going on, and we have our workers doing those plant jobs, I guess we can hop on the horses and get their needs taken care of while the workers are doing our planting jobs, and just have multiple activities going on at the same time. And it's the same process that we do every week for the horses. Just found the most efficient way and the quickest way to do it was just to ride out here past this, away from the stable to this area where the billboard is at. As you go around the curb, and once you get to the billboard, you turn around and head back to the stable, and that puts me almost right at the 100% that I need for my daily riding need. And one of the things I need to make sure I do tonight is make sure I, number one, do a thumbnail so I can have that ready for when I upload the video to my YouTube channel. Just saying a reminder to myself to don't forget about that job. And after I take care of these two horses, then we'll pop back in and double check on our tractors to make sure they're still okay. And one of the things, if you notice, the billboards, as we talk about every other week or so as well, the billboards are dynamic. They have changed from what they were previously. One is talking about the Antonio Carrero DLC pack, and the other is just a advertisement for Giant Software. Or at least that's what the billboard reads as this week. No, and jump right over the back of another horse. Alright, so let's check on our seeding operations. See how we're doing. Oats almost done. And Sunflower Guy is about to run out of fertilizer, so he's going to have to run and get supplies here in just a second. So we're gonna stay with him until he runs out of supplies, or do we just go ahead and flag him now? What I think I'll do is let him finish that row, dismiss, and then let's go to the main farm, grab us some more farm supplies. And we're going to take a shortcut to the main farm. And we're going to fill up on both seed and fertilizer. And one of the things I also want to make sure I do tonight is to make sure I roll all the fields that I planted on. Now we just want to make sure that the seeder's full to capacity with both seeds and fertilizer. And then we're going to take my little shortcut back over to our sunflower field. And now we should be able to turn our AI worker back on, and he can go ahead and finish that job. Let's check on our oat planting guy. Let's see, make sure he didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Alright, looks like he got the job taken care of without doing anything insane. And we are done with this piece of equipment. There's no more grain crops we have that we can plant right now. So we just need to unload the equipment and return it back to the shop. And since I had to pick up the weight for this tractor, we will drive to the shop. And we also want to go ahead and pick up our sugar cane planter as well. Okay, so not a tricky thing here. I think for now I just drop these off because I don't, what the issue is. I don't want to accidentally return the wrong piece of equipment, since I have two of the identical piece of equipment. Stop. least. And we're just going to pick up the sugarcane planter. And we'll bring it over to the main farm and fill it up with seed and fertilizer. And we can use it, for one thing, we could use a pallet of seed that's already there. We just pick that up. And then go over to the silo and continue filling up the planter. And this planter can both seed and fertilize. So we fill up the seed tanks, we fill up the certain fertilizer tanks, and we'll take this planter over to our sugarcane field and plant some cane as well. Alright, so we want to lower seeder. Actually, make sure we get it lined up correctly. And in the right spot. Turn on seeder. Unfold. Turn on seeder. And I'm going to hire an AI worker on this job as well, and hopefully we won't run into any weird shenanigans with this job either. Alright, let's check on our other planting operation. Still seems to be doing well. And I spoke too soon, apparently. Our worker just ran into a tree and lost his mind. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doing a little strip on the bottom part of this field to see if that helps. Hey! Uh-oh, you got your cup? Alright, and now we're going to turn the AI worker on. And we just got to keep an eye on both sets of workers to make sure they're not doing anything unusual, and we can already see where there's a problem with this worker because they did not go all the way across the field, and they're going to the halfway mark in the field and turning around and coming back. And I don't know why that insanity is taking place. So this one is one we may have to apparently manually finish as well. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this part manually. Alright, so turn on cedar. Yep, and we still managed to miss a part because of this whole issue with the worker, so we got to back up and make sure we get that part. No, sir. Alright, now we're going to turn the AI worker back on and see if he will do right this time. Hopefully he should drive all the way to the other parts of the field. Nope, but he's still stopping at a weird point. Seeder, turn on seeder. So if I'm going to use the AI on this part of the job, then I'm going to have to manually sit there and babysit it, because it's doing some behavior that I can't even explain why it's doing it. Nope, because even when I tell it to start here, at this point in the field, it's still skipping a section of the field before it even starts planting. It's really unusual behavior. And you go around, jump over and take a peek at my other planter, and because I've been so preoccupied with that one, I'm not able to manage this other planter and see that it's out of supplies as well, at least out of fertilizer, so we can take care of that real quick and then come back and babysit the other planter. Alright, fertilizer's filled up, and we'll top off the seed as well. And then we'll drive over to that part of the field. And we'll continue our our planting job, sorry. And we're almost done with the planting of our sunflowers. And I'm scared to go look and see what the sugarcane planting guy is doing. I'm sure he's just doing something as random as he can. Yeah, look at her, just This whole section right there is just randomly not planted. And down on the bottom end too, huh? Yeah, he's stopping before he gets to the bottom, and not in the same spot that he did on the last pass, if you notice. In fact, it looks, as you can see by the different rows, he's stopped at a different point each time he's come down to the bottom of the field. I don't know why that is. Just strange. But that's some of the farming simulator AI. Sometimes it's just completely random. Okay, looks like our sunflower seed guy did his best to try to finish the job up, but I can see a couple of spots where we didn't get everything where we needed to. Some lower cedar, turn on cedar. So we have to manually finish those pieces up. Okay. Why is that not showing like it's... Okay, there it is. You can clearly see that it's not planted there. Thankfully the game gives you some visual cues as well. And just lift up. And then we want to hit that part there that looks like it didn't get either seed or fertilizer, more than likely fertilizer. Okay, lift that up. And just make sure we don't have any other areas that might have been missed or... Okay. And now we're gonna go back to the main farm and reload everything and then reconfigure our equipment for the planting of sugar beet. And just not going to stress too much on the sugarcane worker. I'm just going to go back over and clean up what he misses. But right now, just in the interest of multitasking, I just not going to sit there and micromanage him completely. Start filling. Alright, let's top off our fertilizer, top off our seed. Actually, this is going the long way, and we'll take the shortcut back. And now we're going to select the seed sugar beet. And we're going to unfold the seeder. Lower seeder and turn on the seeder. And we're just going to put our faith in the AI worker again and see how well they do or don't do on this field. And we'll take a look at our sugarcane guy to see how he's hanging in there, and he's still, maybe I would have been better served if I did put it on unrealistic and have it do the 11-meter width. I was trying to do, something fair and, at least fairly realistic, but just might have been better served just to have it set up for unrealistic and just kind of roll with it. All that craziness down here at the bottom of the field is driving me nuts too. There's so many different stop points. When it gets down to the bottom of the field, it can't make up its mind where the bottom of the field is at. Even more randomness. Even more randomness. Alright, manual it is. Alright, so let's fix the issues here as best that we can. Lower seeder, turn on seeder. For the most part, we're just going to have to manually do this sugarcane bit. Well, at least it looks like that's what the game wants us to do. Or at least when I'm using this particular mod. And we're about to burn through our supplies, so we're going to soon have to refill this as well. And I don't have any seed or fertilizer tending equipment out in the field, so I will have to go back to the main farm to reload the equipment, which fortunately is not that far from our work site. But if this were a larger map, then definitely I would have to have tender equipment on site. And as you saw that message pop up, our other worker is out of supplies, probably fertilizer. So he stopped working due to one of the tanks being empty in his equipment. Yeah, I thought tonight we'd get enough accomplished where we would have time to get into what I want to do with the grape field, but we may have to save that for next episode, especially taking into consideration some of the issues we've had tonight. It's still been a very productive stream, even in spite of the different little issues that we've had today. I mean, so far we've got our oat down, we've got our sunflower down, we're in the process of getting our sugar cane down and our sugar beet down. Just taking a little longer than we anticipated, but that's sometimes what happens, even in real life. When farmers plan things out, you don't always know what's going to happen when you're dealing with things that are outside your control. Crap. All right. And that was totally accidental, and that was very, very, very unhappy about that. That was, oh man, oh man, that just killed the vibe tonight. I'm sorry, folks. I just accidentally plowed right over my wheat field with sugar cane. All right. All right. Great. So the only way I can salvage this episode now, it looks like, is I'm gonna have to start over completely from scratch and just reset the whole episode and come in from the beginning. I haven't saved anything yet, so that's what we're gonna do. And that's the only way I can save it now, because that is crazy. Alright. So, this has been a rough night for me, folks. But I can't let that ride. So we're gonna come out and go back in. And I'm not, excuse me, I'm not gonna put you through going through all the other farm work stuff that we did. I just have to do that off camera. Because we know what our problem area primarily is with that sugarcane bit. That's where I'm going to start off at. All right. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. This has been a very crazy evening, and not in a fun way. And that just kind of ruined my night. All right. We're going to use that same planter. We're going to do the additional fertilizer tank. We're going to go to the unrealistic because I just need to get it knocked out as quickly as possible now. We'll lease it. And we'll use this tractor with it again. And we'll start with the sugar cane first and then go into the other products. And I guess for the last 30 minutes of this episode, you'll see me redoing work that I already had done. But hey, sometimes this is part of the deal as well. Hate that happens so late into the show. Stuff like that's happened sometimes too. There's been nights where I've spent hours working on something only to mess one thing up and then have those hours of work be negated because of some mistake I had. That's why A lot of times when you're doing things in Farming Simulator, you do want to sometimes save frequently and save often, not all the time, but sometimes you do. And that was one of those instances where it probably would have been good if I had did so, especially when you're doing new tasks. You definitely do want to sometimes save before you get into doing something that might not produce your result you desire. But that was a big one there. That can't have sugar cane and wheat growing on the same field. That's just not going to work. And I'm totally disappointed that it happened, and frustrated, and other emotions at the same time. But nothing I can do about it right now. Alright, so buy some more seed. But since that's my problem field, that's the one I'm going to get done first. Alright, so we got our seed, we got our fertilizer, excuse me. We got our seed, we got our fertilizer. And I'm sorry as well with my voice failing on me now, and I know some of that's because that one got me a little upset, and I'm having to kind of internalize it a little bit, so that's affecting me. We got to seed our fertilizer. We're coming back out to the sugarcane field, and we have it set to the unrealistic work width now, so we can go ahead and get this job done as quickly as possible. Unfold the seeder. Turn on the seeder. And let's see what kind of results we reproduce when we're doing it with this wide length. Okay. Alright, so that's good. So we can definitely get it done a lot quicker now. What I'm going to do, just in the interest of safety as well, I'm going to go ahead and plant around the outer edges of the field first. But most of the stuff that I've already done tonight, I have to redo off camera. So when we come in next week on a Wednesday episode, I'm not exactly sure where we'll be, but I'll kind of give you the heads up when we come back in on Wednesday. Tonight's episode, it's just been a whole lot of unexpected encounters and issues and different little things. But hopefully when we get to it on Wednesday, we'll be in better shape. And just apologize for a little bit of everything that's kind of went wrong tonight. And that's sometimes the nature of Farming Simulator as well. Hold on here, just want to check something. Just wanted to make sure I still wasn't accidentally planting over my wheat crop in any way, shape, or form. But also make sure I'm not missing anything. And no more crazy mistakes, they say. We've had enough fun this evening. But at least when we're doing it with this unrealistic length, width, I should say, planting this field will go a lot faster. Like I say, I tend to trend towards trying to play realistic when I can, but this is one of those scenarios where all of that goes out the window. Just have to bear with me tonight, folks, because just had a lot of stuff go different directions tonight. Like I said, trying to get everything back into shape. And just in the interest of time, what I may do in future episodes, if we get around to it again, to another sugarcane planting season, this is the way I will plant sugarcane going forward, just in the interest of time on the episodes. At least until I get my capture card and I can produce and edit these videos off camera. But still making decent progress, huh? All right. So I can't totally say this evening was a complete loss, but pretty close. But we get it all fixed up and get it back into shape, so we'll be ready for next week's episode. And when we come back in on the next episode, I will have sugar cane down. We will have the sugar beet down. What you up to? What you up to? Where you? Hey. And we will have the Yeah, we have the sugar cane down, we have the sugar beet down, we have the oat down. And everything where it needs to be, where we can pick up from there. But we'll have all our crops planted and we'll just pick up exactly from that point. I'm still not understanding why the AI worker is doing all those shenanigans. But it certainly does not make one very happy. But yeah, I'm just curious now. That's why I just turned him on now to see what he does now. With the while I have the unrealistic setting on, just kind of curious to see what he does. And I'm just gonna sit here and we're gonna manually have to babysit it while it goes through its paces. And interestingly enough, he's not doing that weird stuff that he was doing previously. So that leaves me scratching my head even more. I mean, I wonder if it's because I went all the way around the field and painted the edges of the field, or it's just that he works better with the unrealistic planting length. I'm thinking it's because I have it set on the unrealistic planting setting. Which again is odd, and again is interesting. Tonight's episode was marred by that accident, and that was me because that wasn't the AI worker. I was just distracted momentarily, and I did not notice that I was still driving and just drove right into into my wheat field and just plowed right over my wheat crop and basically negated most of the work that I did in tonight's episode. Okay, there he goes. So just basically means I'm just going to have a lot of rework I'm going to have to do off camera tonight to get to redo all the work that I already had done. And at least get back to the place that I was before I had that horrible accident. Well, it's been an interesting night tonight on here for sure. But we're going to get it all worked out and get everything corrected. And I guess one of the features that we'll do on the next episode is we'll work on removing my grape orchards and getting the greenhouses down that do the grapes and olives. I think that'll be pretty neat for you to see some of that equipment in action, because I've done some testing with it offline, and pretty cool stuff that And I also will probably look at seeing what we need to do to get a couple of other production chains going on the map that we do not have, and that's the cereal production. I don't think we'll do any lumber mill or lumber work, so we'll just work on getting everything down that we need for doing cereal, which means we'll need to get some beehives on the map. We'll look at doing that. And we're already doing grapes, so we already got one of the other productions that we'll need for cereal. Everything else that we need for cereal we already have. We just need to we'll need to pick up our production of honey, and then we'll have to buy a cereal factory, and we can get in the cereal production business as well. And I guess since I've got this piece of equipment, going, and we're at that point in time, we're almost at the end of the episode. Whoa. Just can't get the camera where I want it at. Doesn't want to cooperate because this is such a wide shot. But we're gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead and get my screenshot for tonight's episode. Turn the help window off. We'll just shoot it right here. Screenshot. Turn the help window back on. And pressing the wrong button. Turn on Cedar. And as you see, with the unrealistic work with this planting the sugarcane field is incredibly fast. It's definitely a huge difference from 3 meters at a time. And just thinking out loud, one other industry other than timber that I also don't do it this that I'm not doing on the map right now is the textiles and wool. So that's another one that we'll probably look at getting into in the next episode as well. But we'll need to acquire a very large field if we're going to do textiles, because cotton. In order to get a decent yield for cotton, you really need to have some large fields. I mean, we do get decent amount of wool from sheep too, though. So you could just jump into textiles utilizing the wool we have from the sheep. Also be a lot more efficient if we also plant and grow cotton. Alright, so we got that job complete. And that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thank you for your support and continued support. You can catch me on all the major social media platforms. I'm Bose831 Gaming on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, all the major social media platforms. I can be found at Bose831 Gaming. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. If there's anything, content you'd like to see, just let me know. And like I always say every episode, if you're not having fun doing what you do, then what are you doing? Ironic for tonight's episode, of course. And I will definitely catch you on the flip side. And we'll get everything sorted out for sure. So when we come back in on the next episode, I'll give you all a heads up on where we're at. But that's about it for tonight. But thanks for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you. And I will catch you on the flip side. Have a great evening, folks.